I have a confession to make. Well, kind of two. One, I spent a ridiculous amount of time putting this together so that it could look perfect. Two, it didn't look perfect, but part of me is kind of even wondering if this is good. What it is, what it ain't, it's your boy Young Bunna, but you could call me Young Bunna, and sometimes in my search of perfection, I end up questioning what it is that I'm doing. How can I get this to be perfect? Can it even be perfect? Is it even good? Will it ever be good? And there's times where it's not just the thing I'm doing, it's how I'm feeling, or the season that I'm in. And if you ever feel that way, then I've got news for you, buddy. You're in a bad season. Now, the bad season isn't necessarily a death sentence. It's just a very difficult time to get through, but it could definitely feel like it. You're just sitting there and everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. Anything that you could possibly salvage from it just seems to be out of reach. And you're thinking to yourself, why am I doing this? Why does it feel like I'm not getting anywhere? What is even the point of all this? Is this even worth it? Couple of valid questions, but I don't think the bad seasons are to be taken at face value. Now, what do I mean by that? The Detroit Pistons would know a thing or two about bad seasons. They were in one last year. They've been in a couple of different bad seasons. They've been in bad seasons as long as I've been watching basketball. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the thing about in the NBA, when you have a bad season, you get a very likely chance to get a first pick or a top pick in a draft. And when you get a top pick in a draft, it could be the foundation that's gonna help you take that leap forward in a couple of years to set you up for your future. At least that's the hope, right? Some teams stumble upon
Anthony Bennett of Toronto, Canada, and the University,
while other teams happen to get
Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
It's just the world you live in. Nevertheless, the opportunity is always there. So what am I trying to say with this? Well, I think it's very much the same thing in life. It's very similar. You know what I mean? In a bad season, yeah, there's a lot of losses. There's even losing streaks. There's time where will they ever win again? And you really have no idea if you'll ever win again. Nevertheless, it's statistically impossible for you to never win again. You might not win for a while, but with each and every single loss, I would like to think you gain something, if not just higher seeding. The thing about failure and the thing about not being able to achieve what you set out to achieve is that by making all the wrong decisions, you learn which decisions are wrong. And by default, you just start making the right decisions. One thing I used to love to do, I was a great test taker. People would be like, I'm so great in school, but I'm a bad test taker. Not me, cannot relate. Sorry, but sorry for you, buddy, but I'm a great test taker. And a lot of times in high school, it's not because I knew the information. I actually got away with a lot of not studying because it was all about test taking strategies. There would always be two that have nothing to do with what the answer is supposed to be. And if you could figure out what those two are, that's two less answers. Now you have one right and one wrong if it's a 4-answer multiple test question. Follow me. So now that you've ruled out the two out of wisdom, you have a 50-50 chance of getting the answer right or wrong. That doesn't guarantee you're going to get the answer right, but it greatly decreases your chances of getting the answer wrong. Now, the reason why that's important is because sometimes in the decision-making process of life, you'll make wrong decisions and you're going to lose a couple of times. But with each loss comes a lesson, and with each lesson, you're more informed. And once you're more informed, you're more likely to win or to do better next time. I've heard a quote once that said, the most successful people in the world aren't people who have failed the least, they're actually the people who failed the most. So from that, I can draw the conclusion that success is not a matter of not failing, it's a matter of continuing to go through failure over and 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 over until you reach success. If you keep doing it, it becomes an inevitability. It's just like the multiple choice question. The more stuff I cross out that's not the answer, the closer I'm getting to the answer. And so what am I getting at here? Well, to put it simply, when you're in a bad season, it's gonna feel like you're getting a lot of wrong answers. It's gonna feel like you're failing at a lot of things, but there's an opportunity for character development after you fail to achieve your aforementioned goals. And so it might look bad and you might be thinking, is it worth it? It's worth it. Keep going. And it just kind of brings me back to my life verse and something that helped me a lot of times when I was in bad seasons. Romans 5 verse 3 and 4. And so we rejoice in our sufferings because we know that suffering breeds persistence. Persistence breeds character, and character breeds hope. Now, Maybe you're not having that problem. Maybe you're actually thinking, man, life is so easy. Like, light work, no reaction. Like, I'm literally just vibing. I'll tell you what, buddy, you're in a good season. And I've actually heard someone say this once where they're like, they just want something new. They just want a new challenge. They just want a different season, which is fair. Sometimes you want a little shake up. You want a little mix up. It becomes too predictable what's going to happen. So I can understand, but be weary of that thought process. Why do I say that? Check it out. In a good season, you need to be thankful to just not be in the bad season, because the bad season exists too. And so if you're in a good season, yeah, it might be mundane and it might be repetitive, you know, like I get you, but appreciate what's in front of you. Appreciate the opportunity you have to be in a good season. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense here, because I remember in high school, the greatest 2K game of all time came out.
No, not you.
The only thing that comes close is NBA 2K11, but NBA 2K16 dropped while I was in high school. My word, what a time to be alive. Get home, eat, get on the game, and I'll go play basketball at like 5 p.m. and then come back home and get on the game some more. With all this 2K playing, we were spending a lot of time with each other. And don't get me wrong, there's times, especially on Pro-Am, we get on, we win a game, we win 2 games, everybody start laughing, we having a good time, but they start chilling. They start relaxing. Now all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, 4 game losing streak. Our sharpshooter hitting bricks. Our center cannot get rebounds. He's getting dominated by 2 big men down there. We getting frustrated. And I'll be honest. Sometimes it'll be me, but I'll always be the first one. It's yelling, bro. I'm hot, cause I feel like they not playing for real. We losing the bums, bro.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
And don't get me wrong, I was legitimately mad, but looking back now, what a time to be alive. What a time. That is one of the greatest core memories I ever got to have, and I'll never get to go back there. I'll never get to have that again. Sure, I might pick up another game. Sure, I might have those friends or even another group of friends that crop up where we do activities together. But that exact group of friends playing that exact game, getting in those exact PS4 parties at that exact time where I had little to no responsibilities, a lot more free time. I mean, a lot of those guys, they're off at work, they're in the army, they're doing things with their lives where we just cannot have that time together anymore. They're caught up in this and in that, and when you free is not when I'm free, and when I'm free is not when you free, and we're trying to assemble like 7 people. So it kind of brings me to the point where whether you're in a bad or the good season, you have to take it for what it's worth, because it won't always be like that. It won't always be like that. Certainly, there were bad things at the time, but what that has taught me to do is to embrace all of it and fully live in a moment, to enjoy all of those things, the good, the bad, the ugly, the unfortunate times, the fortunate times, the wins, the losses, the failures, the successes, because you're not always going to be in that bad situation. And when you out of that bad situation, there's going to be good things from back then that you miss. You're not always going to be in that good situation. So while you still in the good and life is good, enjoy the good. Go outside, touch grass, smell the roses, call a friend. Because there's going to be a time where you won't be able to do that. So please appreciate today for what it is and be the best steward that you can be of today, because it quite literally won't always be like this. In any case, that's just my little 2 cents on it. If you like this video, like this video. If you want to see more of content like this, please subscribe. Or if you have any video ideas or things you would like me to talk about, please leave it in the comment description down below. I read every single comment. And if you're making a good point, I might just consider talking about it. And if you want to see any of my previous work, please check right here or right here for some previous videos. I hope I'm pointing at something. And per usual, it's been your boy Young Bunnan. And I'll holla at you.